Hey guys, it's Tony Corpin, the publisher and president of School Transportation News. I'm sitting here with John Kenning, president and CEO of First Student. We're at the ACT Expo in Anaheim, California, and we're talking all about energy, technology, what is happening. John, it's so glad to sit down with you today, and I'm so happy to be here in the First Student booth. You guys have some amazing technology. We see a bus, we have your first charge, we have some charging units behind us. There's just a lot to take in with what you guys are doing today. Can you give the audience just a little background on First Student, kind of where you are, what's your ecosystem look like today?
Sure. One of the key things that we focus on every day is on an annual basis, we take 1 billion school children to and from school every day. Our mission is all around safety and the experience those kids have every day. We want them to walk in our bus, have a great experience, but we want them to be safe. We want to take them to school safely, and we want to get them back home to their parents every day safely. We have 45,000 vehicles like the one you see here in our fleet across the U.S. We're in 43 states in the U.S., 9 provinces in Canada. We're now up to over 60,000 people. One of the really great things we've done over the last few months is we're 98% staffed from a driver standpoint. That's the first time we've been there since back to 2019 before the pandemic. We're really excited about what we're doing at First Student and really excited to be at the show here today with you at the ACT conference. It's a great conference and we're getting a lot of traffic through our booth.
Excellent. So advanced clean transportation, obviously you guys made a big goal to increase your fleet in the electric space. You want to talk about that kind of journey a little bit?
Yeah, we actually started that journey back in 2020. And that's when we put our first electric school buses in from a pilot standpoint. First locations, we chose in some of the toughest places to put them. Bozeman, Montana, in Quebec, up in Montreal. We have buses in Providence, Rhode Island. So we chose difficult places to put them so we could get a really good experience during that pilot. Today, we have over 450 vehicles. We're over 6 million miles driven. We hit another million miles every 2 months right now. And we've got a huge plan over the next 3 years, partnered with a number of our districts to take that from, let's call it approximately 500 vehicles to over 2,000 vehicles.
Yeah, that's a lot. Talk about, it's a lot of growth, a lot of goals to kind of move things forward. Now we're sitting next to this big blue container and it's the first charge unit. And I took a peek inside and it looks like a lot of boxes with a lot of electrical boards. Talk a little bit about what this unit is. How is it helping your customers kind of solve some of the challenges they're having in the market?
Yeah, so when we build out over 250 vehicles in Canada, one of the toughest things was getting the power onto the facility. The utility would bring it to our facility. How do you now get it in place to charge 100 buses at a time? So we started in our first initial build outs there was trenching. And if you try to trench in the winter in Quebec, it's almost impossible. So our engineering team sat back, and I got a great engineering team here at First Student, and they sat back and thought about it differently, right? So you see behind us the chargers and the barrier walls that we have in. This container we can build in less than 30 days. We can have it on site, shipped in 2 weeks. We can install the whole infrastructure in another 30 days. So less than 90 days from a time of order from one of our school districts or one of our other partners, we can have it up and running. Everything is contained in the container, all the chargers, all the cabling. The only thing that's not contained is the Jersey barriers, and we bring those in separately. But it's all above ground once we get to the utilities drop on the location. It's really unique. It's patent pending. We've got lots of customers very interested. We got 10 up and running today. We'll have 50 as we work through EPA 1 and 2. And we have lots of both in-source school districts and other, what I would call medium, heavy-duty fleets out there that are interested in our product.
And I know you've got a great team because our own Innovator of the Year, Alex Cook, your chief engineer, was on the cover of STN magazine a few years ago. And I think this is a bit of his brainchild with his team.
Well, I couldn't say it better. His brainchild with his team. That team developed it. And as you look at it, all the different intricacies of what we put together. If you looked at this from most suppliers, you'd have a hodgepodge of the electrical layout in there. It wouldn't look professional. So what Alex and his team has designed it, and then we partnered with Westinghouse to put it in place. They've done a great job as a contract manufacturer building out this solution and really enhancing the look and the safety of the container and the safety once it comes onto a school property or our properties. And we're really building it out in conjunction with our districts and partners across the U.S. and Canada.
Yeah, I have to commend you. It's very innovative, very exciting to see innovation coming from the largest school bus contractor in the United States. Now, let's talk about innovation, because you guys are obviously deep into this. So you have a new project called Project Halo. You want to expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, so EQ2 bought our company a little over 4 years ago from a UK parent. One of the first things we did when my team came in 3 years ago is we looked at the infrastructure that was running our base business. For a company at that time with over 50,000 people, we didn't have an HRIS system. So we've gone on a journey to look at our base HR technology system, our HRIS system. We installed Workday. We're now upgrading our middleware platform that does all our scheduling, all our billing, all our scanning with our employees to make it much simpler to work with our customers, to look at hours scheduled, hours worked, and hours billed, and make it simpler from a billing standpoint. And we've connected our Workday process with our Focus 2.0 into our Oracle financial system. So from a back office, we're much more efficient. But more importantly, we've invested in Halo as our total technology process and looking at how we're more efficient in the customer's view also. If you think about it from a maintenance standpoint, we have Hexagon. It's a product that is very AI driven and letting us understand our pre-work that we have to do, our preventative maintenance. Our maintenance costs have come down by about 10% since we've installed that with our customer base. We continue to work on how we innovate with our customer. The next thing, we're installing all different types of technology on bus. Could be different driver-facing cameras to make sure they're alert and ready at all time, front-facing cameras to reduce the number of preventable collisions that we have out there, reduce collisions. We talked a little bit earlier about stop arm cameras that we're installing. So we're enhancing the capability of our bus from a safety standpoint. I'll hand you one of our safety cards, which talks about our values and our values all around safety, and looking at how that experience is for the children. We've given out 100,000 of these cards, not only internally, but externally. Every one of our driver has one. Every one of our monitors have them. Everyone in our organization receives a card. It's really what we live around. And safety is one of those key initiatives that we're doing. Next thing is we're trying to provide more data to our parents and the district. So we just launched our new product called First View. That tells the parents when that school bus is picking up in the morning and when it's going to deliver at the end of the day. We're also enhancing our ridership technology so we can know who's on our bus at any given time. We're working with districts to implement that product. It's, again, AI driven. How do we use technology better to provide a better experience for the parent, our student, and our employees? How do we do that together in partnership with our districts is what Halo is all about.
Yeah, AI-enhanced technology has been a big talking point here at the ACT Expo, and we're continuing to hear more and more on that. And we're going to keep expanding on it, too, within School Transportation News and at STN Expo. So we're really looking forward to having you be a part of that conversation as well. And there's so much happening within First Student. You touched on maintenance. Now, I know First Serves also has a maintenance component to it. And we did a webinar with you guys on it. And I had just seen a press release that Fort Worth signed on with you, which congratulations to them and to you for that partnership. So you want to expand, what is First Serves doing to support the maintenance side of things?
So we've done across our, what I would call 1,300 contracted customers out there and about 19,000 school districts that we work with. How do you look at your different opportunities from transportation? The bus is part of it, the driver's part of it, maintenance is a huge part of it. And when you look at our buying power being the largest in the industry, we can acquire buses very cost effectively. When you look at our maintenance program, and I talked about the AI-based technology that they're using, we can be more efficient from a preventative maintenance standpoint. We buy parts cheaper than anyone in the industry. We came up a couple years ago with a program all around maintenance and really providing that to school districts. We have 41 districts out there that we only provide maintenance to. Fort Worth is the biggest one and the most recent one that we have announced. And what we did with Fort Worth is we went in and looked at the number of vehicles they were using, the number of vehicles they had sitting idle. How do we put a program around that that's more efficient and saves them money? In that case, we'll save them somewhere around 17% on an annualized basis on their maintenance services that they buy. we believe in most districts, we can save anywhere between 15 and 25% savings on maintenance only. And we've got that experience through those 41 districts that we do today. Our First Serves is the consulting arm within First Student that's meeting with our customer base, meeting with both outsourced customers and in-source customers. Fort Worth was an in-source customer where they ran the transportation themselves. The only piece of it we're working with them on today is maintenance. We're very excited to help them. We believe there's a lot of districts out there we can provide the great service.
Yeah, I enjoyed the webinar too, because they talked a lot about the potential cost savings with the economies of scale that First Student brings, as well as the expertise. And staffing issues are a really big issue for a lot of folks out there. Mechanics, it's a big challenge out there. Everybody talks about drivers, though you're not having driver issues. Many people are, and there are challenges out there that people are dealing with HR. So we're excited to hear that you're helping a district really move things along, as it sounds like a lot of other customers too.
Yeah, and I think you brought up a great point. When you look at that mechanic, technician, whatever you want to call them in the field, we've put a great program together and we've significantly reduced our turnover of those technicians. We have an ASE certified program where you can go from a base technician to a gold certified to an ASE certified technician. As you do that, not only do they become more valuable in their career, we pay them more as they go along that journey. So our retention rate has gotten better. We've done a lot from a recruiting standpoint to be one of the leaders in the industry. And then the retention is so important in doing that, because as you train them, they become very valuable in the marketplace. How do we keep them with our districts to make them more efficient? So a lot of things have gone into our maintenance as a service program. And we have 500 plus locations around the country where we provide maintenance today. So we can support them out of those locations with parts and great technicians and great management around that whole program.
Yeah, and with so many customers, I guarantee you a lot of people have special needs children that they're transporting. And I know you guys launched First Alt a few years ago. Our friend Greg Prettyman has been on the STN podcast. He's been everywhere. I think you even put him on the front cover of the magazine at one point. We had a cover that went out a few years ago. But Greg's doing a great job about boosting up the First Alt division. You want to expand a little bit? What is First Alt? What's the technology behind that? How are you supporting your customers in the terms of special needs and hard to transport children?
Yeah, so we've invested in two, what I would say, very unique products around special needs children. First of all, First Alt, and I'll talk about that in a second, and then also First Serves. And First Serves is a company that we actually bought, a company out of Illinois, partnered with the University of Cincinnati's Child Development Program, and we came out with a very unique program for our drivers to work with special needs children. How do you de-escalate an event? And we've done extra training for those drivers in conjunction with a number of our districts. Great program for that special needs children. The second thing is, if you look at the total cost of ownership for a school district, special needs children, if they have to travel one at a time, to put them on a big yellow bus like the one sitting next to us is not a really efficient way to do it. So First Alt we developed, it's an asset light. We partner with different vendors in the community, make them go through our training program, all of our testing for our drivers that we do for our standardized drivers, and then we use the right vehicle for the right number of children. It could be one single vehicle that has special needs, cannot travel with anyone else to and from school. We'll put them in a single vehicle. Could be 3 or 4 children in a van. So we put the right child in the right vehicle for their need. The interesting thing was we developed this technology under Greg's leadership ourselves. It's helps everything from scheduling, routing, and then also first view technology that we use for our big bus. We're using on that technology, so they're linked together. So if families have multiple different children, they can use one tool to see where their kids are at any given time, whether it's using our alternative transportation for special needs or our big buses. So we're really excited about what Greg and his team's doing. And we've had fantastic growth where we're now in over 17 states with our First Alts program. And it grows every day, route by route, school district by school district. He's done a phenomenal job. The guy's got more energy than anybody I know, maybe almost as much as yourself.
Thank you.
So Greg's fantastic, and we'd love to have him in your magazine again.
Yeah, love it. John, thank you so much for coming on with us, sharing a little bit about what First Student is doing. There was a lot to cover. We look forward to talking with you more in the future.
Thanks again for your time today, and really excited about our partnership with STN. Really have done great things together, and we continue to look forward to our partnership. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.